Okay, let's start. First I think we will present ourselves. So my name is Dirk de Roost. I'm one of the two founders of the Cronos Group, and Sam.
So my name is Sam Bambus, and I'm since 2 years CEO of the group. Thank you.
They asked us to present a little bit about Cronos, how we started the company, where we are today, and where we'll be also in the future. We'll also, of course, talk a little bit about the partnership with Odoo. But like I said, we started 35 years ago. At that moment, I was still a young man. Now I'm 65 years old, of course, yeah. But the average age of the Cronos people, and we are today, we employ 10,000 people, is 34 years old. So people like myself, there are not a lot of people of 65 years old working in the company. But we started the company, of course, in the beginning. I used to be a CEO from Oracle. And what I found out, of course, we sold products, like Odoo also sells products. But you need, of course, a service component beside that. Of course, we were not the only service company. There were a lot of service companies at that moment. The Indian guys were also coming, Tata. They said to me, Dirk, why do you start a service company? The market is already full of that. But I said, no, I think we can really go into the market with a very determined focus. So we started in the beginning with a few people, like a lot of Odoo partners also, have 10, 20, 30, 50 people. That's how we started. We did it until today with private capital. So we don't have VCs behind us, we do it always private capital. This year we will achieve 1.3, maybe a little bit more, billion. Today our market is Belgium, Luxembourg and Holland. And Belgium for us today is 90% of our revenue. I talked to the Odoo people. The revenue of Odoo is 10% in Belgium and 90% abroad. For us it's 90% Belgium and 10% abroad. That's important, I think, for you also to know that we of course are a company that will continue to grow. There are years that we hire 1,000 people. I think it's a little bit like Odoo also. We can attract 1,000 people. What we never did in the past is buy companies. So we didn't acquire companies. It's autonomous growth. And I think that's quite unique in our market, certainly in Belgium, in the Belgian market, that you can grow that fast. This year is a difficult year. I think everybody knows 2025 is a difficult year. 26, we will wait. I see the figures going better, positive, but 26 will not be a top year either. Yeah? But I think we look, of course, to the future. And we are convinced that we will grow. Sam will talk a little bit how we work, what our model is. But I think also I can talk maybe a little bit about Odoo because these are all Odoo people. So we started Odoo a few years ago. If we go in a market, our aim is always to be in the market the number one or the number two player. We don't go into the market to become the 10th or 20 biggest player. Okay. That's our meaning, and of course we need time to achieve that. But also in Odoo, we want to achieve that. Today, first in Belgium, maybe Holland, we will discuss that, but that's the way we want to work. I will give now the word to Sam, who will talk a little bit about our model, what is so special, what is unique in our model, and then afterwards you can ask us questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dirk. As Dirk explained, we are not. We are a network of companies. Today there are over 600 companies within the group, and I think we are in an IT sector where every year there is new technology coming up. So there's a lot of innovation, and what we try to do is not to choose, but we try to explore every new opportunity, every new technology, and whenever we see there's business with it, we will create a dedicated, and we call it a company because indeed in our model it is a separate company that will focus on that specific opportunity technology with dedicated people, and they have a lot of freedom to develop that opportunity themselves. So they decide on which customers, with what people, what offering. So they have that's a bit the basic of the model. So we are a kind of multi-brand because every company goes under their own name to the market, and they have a lot of freedom to develop themselves. And if you look, we compare ourselves a lot with cycling. So that are, if you look, there's a lot of new. We call that the front runners. So they are the innovators. They start small. But in order to finance that, we need stable business, and that's the peloton. There we have the mature business. We have been doing business with SAP, with Microsoft, and it's that money we gain that we use always to invest in new technology. Of course, it's a kind of moving thing, because technology comes up, it has a life cycle. Also, sometimes there's technology that goes away. So, and that's what you see in the cycling as well. Then you need to catch them up again. You need to, and that's what we do always, is to look to change them to a new opportunity, a more future-proof opportunity. So if you look to Cronos, we have a kind of model where change is embedded. So we have a cloud of companies that moves along with the market opportunity. Our main focus is service. So we are, Odoo is a product company. We are a 100% service company. So we avoid to invest in own IP. We are a partner of many technology vendors to deliver service skills to the market, to make sure that whenever a company buys a software, that it's properly implemented, maintained. That's our core model. So then, if you look, how do we manage such a large ecosystem? Yeah, we have we have a 3-layered structure. So at the heart, the group, we have a set of shared service. So obviously, if you have 600 companies in the same group, there's benefit of sharing things. So whenever you have back office things, or lease cars, or payroll, that type of service, we have organized at group level, so our companies can truly focus on the prime opportunity is being an Odoo partner, being in the market, and not to worry about HR processes or finance processes. So that's what we organized at the group. Also at group level, because we are, if you look in Belgium, we do over 1 billion turnover. Yeah, sometimes there are, for example, if you think about the public sector, we need to engage together. All our companies go alone to the market, but if you want to win a large tender, for example, for the Flemish government, then obviously we need to find a way to work together, and that's what we organize also at group level. So we have a commercial team focusing on the larger opportunities, that make sure that we have the right contracts, that we have the right opportunities, and that we make sure that for our Cronos companies everything is okay to go and do the business. So that's the group level. The function is shared service and focus on the larger opportunities to make sure that we go together to market. And then I think because of our size, we created a middle layer. So we work a lot with young people. Young people, we allow them to create their own company. But yeah, obviously those guys need and girls, they need support, and that's what we have organized at cluster level, is to make sure that we have a personal follow-up, that we make sure whenever they have an issue they can go and talk to somebody, and that they are being helped whenever they need that help. And that's so we have organized these 600 companies in 17 clusters, and they have more this personal support towards the companies, and the outer. And that's the skirt, the 600 companies. That's I think that's where the true value is of the Cronos Group. It's about going to market under their proper name, and I think our biggest value proposition is the skills we have. So we have 10,000 people, all very skilled in a specific domain, and with a very specific focus they go to market, and that's what our customers value. But so that's the approach we have. But if you then think about this network, we do work a lot together. So that's what we see. And so sales-wise, we serve 6,000 customers. We don't have a very large central sales team. So these companies serve all these clients. And so that's a very powerful model. But then, if for example an Odoo partner goes to a customer and they see another opportunity, they also bring it back to the group. So that's how the network works. The same for recruitment. Yeah, recruiting over 1,000 people. We don't do it centrally. It's always happening decentral. Every company can attract their own people. With 600 companies, it's easy to, if each hires 2 people, yeah, you're over 1,000 people. So it's really the power of a network we have created. We feel in Belgium it has been working very well. What we do see, and that's the ambition of the Cronos Group, is we want to bring it to other countries now. Netherlands is our second largest market, and we see that the model works there as well. I think our ambition now is to become the largest Benelux player. We believe there's still a lot of growth for us in the Netherlands, also in Luxembourg. And I think once we have established that position, then we obviously will look to other countries within Europe to grow our business.
Maybe just to add, as a service company, for some customers, we work with nearshore resources, but our model is a local resource model. A lot of our competitors, they always work with nearshore or offshore. We don't do that. In 95% of the cases, we work with Belgian or Dutch people. I think that's also a big differentiator. Yeah?
Yep.
And of course, maybe if you look to the Cronos Group, we have 5,000 customers. That's a lot. If we see to our competitors, they have less customers, but they focus on a few big customers, but we go very broadly. And that's also, I think, a difference in the market.
Yeah, but maybe a little bit of what type of customers do we serve? I think our biggest vertical is public sector. I think that's around one third of our turnover. We do have both local government as the European government, and I think what we see is at this moment it's a very stable vertical to focus on because they are less impacted by crisis. Beyond, of course, 2/3 of our business comes out of the private market. So that's a bit the thing. What we always try to do is not to become too dependent on one customer. So if you look, the largest customer of us is 1% of the overall turnover, meaning that we have a very good spread over market, which I think is from a risk point of view a very good thing. Sometimes something happens, you can lose a customer, you can be replaced, so the impact always is managed or is manageable for us. And that's a model we have been actively I think maintaining, not to become too big, not to become too dependent on. So we try to be very spread, meaning we serve small companies to large enterprises. So we don't have it's not that we are in one vertical or another. We are very spread over the whole market. So
if we look to Odoo, because there are a lot of Odoo people in the room, of course. And today, of course, if we see the customers, there are smaller to mid-sized customer. I'm sure, of course, that in the future, Odoo will grow to larger customers. I'm sure we've seen that also with other products. So I think we look now, because the customers that you serve are smaller than the normal customers. We are in the higher skilled. But I think we know that in the future, Odoo will also grow in the size of customer that you will serve. I'm sure of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I think on how for example, to give a little bit of example, how, for example, at Odoo, we started, I think, multiple companies within the group, and that's sometimes bizarre. So in Cronos, competition is normal. For us, it's an obvious thing. If you see, we have people focusing on Dynamics, on SAP, and on Odoo. Sometimes there's an opportunity, and all three compete to each other. For us, that's a normal model. We consider each company as a separate company with the ability to go to market, and we will not take away any opportunity from those people. So, if you look then, how do we start up? If you look, for example, Odoo, there were more than one person who had interest to create a company around it. I think in two different sides of Cronos something started up. What we then also often do at a certain point is to bring those people together and to make sure that if we bring them together, we can accelerate, we can go faster to market. That's, I think, recently we have done it. We have now Omicron, which is, I think, our collective brand to go to market with Odoo. And I think there for us, that's now, I think, the next level is to, if we want to become the number one, number two, it's good that we don't go spread to the market, but we go united to the market. But that's how, with most vendors, it starts up. We see multiple initiatives, we see which ones get successful. Once they are successful, we try also to take the benefit of being part of one group. And that's also the role. What I'm doing is to connect people. You see something in the group, somebody is at one customer, another, sometimes by joining those people we create benefit, and that's, I think, the role we do on a daily basis.
Maybe
within
Sam,
Cronos.
you can talk a little bit about AI. For us, of course, for everybody it's important, but maybe how will we position ourselves in the AI market? I think it's important you tell to the people.
Yeah. Yeah, AI, and I think it's a game changer. You could consider it as a threat. I see it as an opportunity because it will make ourselves more efficient. For me, it's about automation. I'm not so concerned about replacement because that's a lot of doom thinking that it will replace us. I think it has benefits, but it still has a lot of limitations. But what you do see that almost on every process, on every discipline, there's a benefit to adopt AI. We see a dual opportunity for us. Of course, at our customers, automation, making processes more efficient is a big opportunity. But also for our own, it's a big opportunity because thinking about development, thinking about documentation, testing, also there you see that AI will make our workforce much more efficient. So that's we are working on those two axes, and we are making sure that our people are very well trained, that they have all the tools they need, and what we also make it as a value proposition. And that's a bit coming back to the onshore. We also believe that with AI, onshore will become even more popular because having people close to you to innovate, to develop, it's value. You have the same culture, you understand, and I think you will not trust far away people with AI. So because also with AI there's responsibility. You can't just generate and put in production. So you need trusted and skilled people to deal with that process. And that's where we see a big opportunity for our skilled onshore expert model.
And of course, if you read about Odoo, AI, the cloud, but I think a lot of partners here, and I see that in the market, they are ERP knowledgeable or accounting knowledgeable. To adapt to AI, you need some other skills. I hope that in the room there are a lot of AI people, but I don't often see that. I see that also with our SAP guys. AI, they talk a lot about AI, but the expertise is not there. That's what I observe. So today I think we have now more than 400 people in AI, which is a large entity. And I think also for the Odoo guys, you need to integrate. You need to show some new things. And I know Odoo will do that, but beside that, you can do other things with AI. I think that can be an advantage. I'm sure that will be an advantage in the future.
Yeah, maybe to conclude, if you look to us, we are a kind of multi-company approach, but by doing that, the value proposition to the customer is that we have skills in every technology that's, I think, today used at our customers. So we are a bit of a non-stop shop. We are well placed if customers have multiple technology to integrate, to support them. It's not that we are not focused on one, so we have a very broad view. So we can both help with the selection, but also with the implementation, but also with the integration. And that's, I think, what a lot of clients of us appreciate. But that is, in a nutshell, what is Cronos Group. And so if you have any questions.
Yeah, maybe it's time for some questions. Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Sorry, I had to go on stage. How do you see the partner ecosystem evolve in the next 5 years in Belgium?
How do you see the partner ecosystem evolve?
And what is your position in that ecosystem, specifically in Belgium?
And is it specifically on Odoo or broad?
The Odoo partner landscape.
Yeah, but what Dirk said, I think Odoo, what you see, and this morning it was in the Tate, Odoo is growing a lot. So I think they are not only growing in number of customers, but also in the type of customers they serve. And I believe in that model, a partnership model, and that you saw in every other technology, you need skills to be successful as a product vendor. So I think the partnership ecosystem will further evolve. And I think by having larger opportunities, it becomes more interesting as a partner to invest in it. That's what I see. So and I think that's for Odoo important. We do have a lot of technologies which did not have the right level of skills in the market, and it's much more difficult for them to be successful.
If you see, of course, on the market today, there's a lot of Odoo partners, of course, in Belgium. What we also see, we need enough deals, because otherwise you cannot make enough money. So we'll see what happens in the future, but I think probably, not now, but in the coming years, there will be some consolidation, I suppose. But you need sales support. And you see that in other products also. If you cannot sell, you cannot grow. That's always the problem. Yeah? But I hope that all the partners will be successful.
Good segue to growing. You touched about wanting to grow organically, or that's what you've always been doing. Other partners or other businesses grow very fast through acquisition. Mm-hmm. How do you plan to keep up?
But we grow at our size, even not this year, but we grow 15 to 17% organically. We are a service company, so if we want to grow 50%, I think we cannot do that. We cannot handle that. Yeah? So 15 to 16% for us is enough. And if the economy is growing like it should be growing, maybe 26, 27, then we will grow again 50%, which is for us enough. If you look to, for instance, Holland, maybe in Holland, and I look to the Odoo partners, maybe in Holland we will buy something. But it's not our model. That's never been our model, but maybe it will change in the future.
Okay, thank you. For some that might be aspired to create a company, also part of the Cronos Group, how long does it usually take for a new company of yours to get out of cost or to become profitable?
Well, normally it's between 1 and 2 years. Between 1 and 2 years, you should see that you will become profitable in a service company. Yeah? Mm-hmm. If you develop products, it's completely other model. But in a service company, after 2 years, you should be profitable.
And do you have a certain plan for creating teams within such a new company and structure the business operations?
Well, I'm sure. I think it's the first time I come here, so I'm impressed. Of course, if you walk around here, you're impressed. We go to the Oracle, but this is really big. So you see, and I asked also to the Odoo people to come to us and talk to the business opportunities that we can define together in the future. Absolutely, yeah. That's something we will absolutely work on. Is that an answer to your question? I don't know. Yeah?
I think so. They're not mine. So you have 17 different clusters today, of your companies. How are the clusters segmented?
But that's so we are not. We are a very organic company. So these clusters, they don't have a focus on content. So if you look to a cluster, there are like mini Cronoses serving many opportunities. Because what you do see is we attract on a good year 1,500 people. A lot of them are just our first time on the market. So they come from school. So I think 3 years ago we had 800 of them we attracted. Those people are the ones also that are creating new companies, and they will do that close to the place where they started in Cronos. So for us the clusters are not on content, it's more on support and to make sure that our companies have what they need to grow.
Okay. Like for instance today, I think 10 years ago there was not an Odoo company. Next week I'm at Amazon. 10 years ago we didn't have an Amazon company. Today we're the biggest partner of Amazon. Okay. I was this week at Google. We're going to invest also in Google, heavily invest in Google. 5-6 years ago we started, but so these are all new possibilities, and I think with the AI wave that is coming, there will be a lot of new opportunities in the next years, absolutely. Yeah?
But what we sometimes do at Cronos level is to create virtual brand. So for example, I think cybersecurity is an important theme. What we did is created a Cronos brand where we collect all our cybersecurity expertise and we go to market together. That's what we do. It's more on team and content, but that's not a physical thing. It's more on going to market, and that's what we call it virtual clustering. But
so as Cronos, you do a lot. So you have this expertise in so many different businesses. Or different sectors. Besides the Odoo implementation, what services do you provide to the customers that get onto Odoo?
What services do we provide to? That's it's can be everything. So if you look, we do a lot of implementation on existing technology, but we have custom-made solutions. We do we build front-end solutions. So I think honestly we are on that side. We are. If you look, what's the common denominator? We are on the digital side, so we are a digital company. We are not doing business strategy. That's what we are not. So our expertise is delivering service around technology and digital solutions. But I think almost any you can name, we have partnership with.
I think we have now 300 partnerships with software companies, so that's a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of them are American companies, and of course now we're looking, okay, what are the European players? Because we're going to invest largely also on the European market, that's for sure.
Okay, super. I think that is time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.